What's up, guys? It's the Farooqi brothers back with another video. And today for you guys, we're going to be talking about a lot of the new information that Zack Snyder dropped on his Vero about the Snyder Cut. And, you know, he was really active the other day, you know, following the announcement that Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition is going to be on HBO MAX streaming exclusively. So he had a lot of fun kind of talking back and forth with fans throughout the whole day, basically the whole afternoon. So we're going to touch on some of the things he revealed, some of the things he hinted at, and then basically bring you guys the big information. But the main point that I wanted to start with today was the idea of no compromise, right? And there's, you know, there's a Vero post that Zack put in 2017 where he said, you know, never compromise even in the face of Armageddon, a line from Watchmen, right? And around that time, a lot of people put it together. That might have been a time where Zack was let go. That might have been a time where the studio saw his cut, and then obviously people like Jeff Johns, John Berg did not like it, you know, Toby Emmerich. So come back and those same two words, no compromise, keep showing up. And we talk about the Snyder Cut. It's quite different from Zack Snyder Justice League. They're two very different concepts, you know, and the fact that the Snyder Cut, if it came out in 2017 as we intended, it would not have been the film that we would have gotten now through a series, which we're getting in Zack Snyder Justice League, right? So throughout this thread, he talks about a lot of stuff. You know, some of the big stuff was that the idea of no compromise. You know, someone asked that, you know, was your movie going to be in 2017 a compromise cut? And his exact words were no compromise, but all compromise in 2017, right? So he basically was saying straight up that even the 2017 version would not have been the one he wanted to put out there, right? And then there's some also basic facts like, you know, Steppenwolf will be his OG design, not the one that you saw in theatrical cut. They're going with the design closer to that of BVS. About Superman, they asked, when will Superman return back to the red and blue costume? And his answer to that was, when he succumbs to the anti-life equation, he will go back to the red and blue suit, right? A little more basic stuff. Are you guys working on VFX? He said, yeah, we're deep in it. Will Jonathan Kent be in Zack Snyder Justice League? His answer was a wink, you know, which usually means that, you know, you could probably say he'll probably be in some form or fashion. We all know there's been a lot of rumors about that, about Jonathan Kent having a role, particularly in that farm scene where Clark and Lois meet, obviously where he sees Martha as well. So that might be a good area to put Jonathan Kent, I would say. What else? People said, oh yeah, is Come Together going to be the song of this movie? He said, I have something much better, right? And then things like, is Hans Zimmer's score going to be in it with Junkie XL? So yeah, Junkie XL is doing the score, but 3 main tracks from Hans Zimmer will also be featured. I'm guessing, obviously, Man of Steel's theme, the Batfleck theme, Wonder Woman's theme. Does Cyborg have a vision where Superman destroys the planet? I wink again. So there's a lot of stuff. Obviously, it's going to be shot in film instead of digital. Also a big thing. So, and last thing, is the Green Lantern coming? And he said yes, right? So there's a lot of stuff to talk about. And I'll start it with Zion. Like, talk to me more about kind of like how Zack Snyder Justice League is not really the Snyder Cut, because things like Green Lantern we were not going to get back then, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just for obviously the one we got is a complete stark different from even the 2017 theatrical cut we'd have gotten of Zack Snyder's. But like you said, now with not only the higher time constraint they have as an episodic nature, you have much more time and to work with, and even in some cases more money based on each episode. And I think that just frees him up to really show his vision completely. In 2017, even if his version came out, it would have been a little more hindered down based on what the studio would want. They'd say, cut this out or cut that out, or maybe even Steppenwolf's design wouldn't have been as the demonic one he is in BVS. That change would have been made or would have been stuck with his version of Justice League. So things like that and other things they might have cut out. Now with the streaming service, with how much allowance, how much leeway they're giving him on this project, he can really go all out and just show the true vision of what he wanted to put out, which we might not have even got in 2017. So, I mean, there's so many things to look forward to.
I know, but for you, I'm thinking, what of all these reveals, what are you kind of most thinking that this is kind of like interesting stuff?
Well, I think the Lantern stuff, actually, because everything else that we know of, right? And the exciting thing about Zack Snyder Justice League is that we don't actually know a lot, even though you know, he's given out a lot over the 3 years. He said on different occasions that it's only the tip of the iceberg. You guys haven't really seen his actual vision. So in terms of what I'm most excited for, obviously the Superman stuff, because the whole universe is centered around him, and we actually probably know the least about him. Like, you notice that when Zack posts, like, a lot of the posts are stuff that it's similar to what was in the release, except it was his take on it. So like the Aquaman, he posted a picture of the Aquaman, Vulko, and Mera, right? He posted a picture with even the Batman Superman stuff that he posted is very, very like it's not giving you much. Like, it just, you know, basically that the one scene where he walks out and he's wearing the suit, the one of the sickest shots, like the deleted scene, you know, that's a Snyder shot. But even in that when he's walking through the scout ship and he sees the black suit, that they actually, I don't know what the hell he was trying to say. I think he was trying to say like they messed up like how it looks, or they do CGI different than what he wanted.
Words that he said that this was done without me and trying to use my design, but they got it wrong.
Yeah, so even like little things like that were kind of just not done. And CGI makes a huge difference because, like, depending on what you're manipulating, it can completely change what the audience is supposed to get. I mean, you look at a movie that was actually not hammered, right? Batman v Superman, the 2 hour and 30-minute version compared to the 3 hour cut is actually very different. Even though it's there, like Zack said, I think he was on Collider or something where he said that like the movie's there, like majority of the stuff is there, but the Ultimate Edition just weaves it all together. It's fleshed out. Now we're at a point where they released a film that wasn't even his, but then like now the 4 hour, 4.5 hour, whatever he's trying to do, like that version is totally different as a film, but also like when you've seen the track record of how different how he makes his movies, there isn't a way to chop them up because they're so it's weaved in together really well. So basically we haven't seen anything.
Yeah, and that's the main point I was making, that, you know, it starts again with the lanterns, start with basic things like the villain, Steppenwolf is day and night different between the two versions. So, you know, the big point that when I think about this is that what we're getting now is actually the better product. We're getting something that's actually closer to what Zack wanted. Maybe not the scary idea, but as close as possible to the scary idea that he can get with what he has, with the money he's gotten. And obviously things like Martian Manhunter, things that weren't completely done in the original cut are going to get done now, right? So it's one of those great things that when you think about like 2017 version, you know, a lot of people talk about 214, something that we've been hearing a lot, but in reality, we're getting something much more than 214. We're getting something much more than Snyder Cut. I think even Zack didn't know how much we could have won. We won with this battle kind of the Snyder Cut, because the idea always was, yeah, the bare minimums, yeah, we can get his 2017 cut out. He has a 214-minute version. He has a bunch of cuts, whatever the case might be. But what we're getting now is actually what he really wants to do. And that includes, you know, everything from Jonathan Kent showing up potentially one more time, Jarrell showing up, all the Zimmer themes, the music, top to bottom, we're basically getting a completely different picture. And if you put it into a serial format on HBO MAX, well, that leads to more stuff like on season 2, season 3, whatever the case might be, to see more stuff, right? So, Samir, speaking on Green Lanterns, which version would you rather see in this series?
To be honest, I'd want to see Jon Stewart instead of Hal Jordan, but it'd be cool to see both.
Yeah, I agree with that. The question is, what do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about us finally getting an uncompromised version of Zack Snyder's Justice League? Let us know in the comments below. From myself, from Zayan, from Umar, and from Samir, this is the Farooqi Brothers. We'll see you next time. Peace out.